Welcome to the 5D Academy of Higher Consciousness. I'm Zarathustra, broadcasting from Tulum, Mexico. And one of our participants asked me to explain my experiences, my encounters with my significant spiritual teachers and the healers that I've met in my life. And I'm going to share some of them with you. I was kind of saving it for my book, but since Eva brought it up, I feel like maybe I should explain and share with you some of it. So we're going to delve into that one and see where it's going to go. So I had different spiritual experiences before I realized and before I was pulled into this path. And like I had a couple back-to-back dreams. That one of the dreams, I don't know, most of you have heard that I walked into the kitchen of my house and I find out that my mother's dead and half of her body was decomposed and was rotten, and the other half of her body was still okay. And I started screaming, oh no, mom, mother, you can't die, you can't die. I was traumatized, but this is in a dream, okay? So I run and I get on top of her. I hold her good hand in my, because half of the body was rotten already, decomposed, and the other half was still okay, but she's dead. And I hold her hand, and intuitively, I put my other hand to the sky and I look up, and a waterfall of light poured in like a waterfall, and it went through one of my hands, I don't know which one, and then as I'm holding my mom's other hand, the energy went through her body, and like these new sci-fi movies, her body came back to life and she became alive. And I was 21 years old at this time, living in San Francisco, going to college. And in that moment, the next day when I wake up, I realized at one point in my life, I'm going to be doing something with healing work. I didn't know exactly when, what, how that's going to work, but it was very clear that there is a connection. So the next significant event is sometimes in 1989. I'm a sales manager of an insurance company. I had 18 people working for me in my office, and I'm the youngest person. At this point, I'm 28 years old, 29 years old. I'm very successful. I'm working 12 hours a day, but I'm very depressed. And there's a lot of pressure on me. Pressure from work. The company is giving me a lot of problems. And I'm working a lot, 6 days a week. I don't have any fun. I don't have a girlfriend. I don't have any friends. I'm just working, working, working. And it comes to this pivotal point of committing suicide. I wanted to cut my veins. And I looked maybe 20 years older than what I look right now. I was overweight. Underneath my eyes was dark and puffy, wrinkles, and I was very, very unhappy. I'm swimming. What I enjoyed was, this is in La Jolla, California, and one of my passions was going to La Jolla Cove and going for a swim in the ocean. which was kind of a friendly area that you could easily swim. So, and I'm swimming in the ocean every other day or whenever I get a chance, and I'm praying to doing my Sufi mantra to God and asking God to send me an angel, because at this point I feel like I'm lost. And I feel like everybody around me is lost too. And I need a guide. I said, praying, praying, praying while I'm swimming. Send me a messenger, send me an angel, send me a guide, God, because I am lost and I want to kill myself. I don't want to live anymore. And then this is going on for 6 months. And then this beautiful black man with dreadlocks appears into my life. His name, sorry, get a hot cold. And his name is Ernie. And Ernie is my angel. And he introduces me to Osho. Osho is formerly Bhagwan Sri Rajneesh, the guru that went from Pune, India to Oregon, the one with 99 Rolls Royces, and the sex guru, and da 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 da. So Ernie introduces me to Osho, and Ernie was an Osho sannyasin. So he had taken sannyas from Osho, means he got initiated by Osho. And he leads me to that. He starts teaching me about energy. He starts teaching me about awareness. And he becomes my guru and my brother for the next till 2014, when Ernie died from a stroke. And Ernie, I would say, now I realize he was a master for sure, no doubt. And he taught me many, many things. He taught me compassion. He taught me to be color free and not judge. He taught me to look at everyone as God. He taught me to be patient. He taught me to be loving. He taught me to be quiet. Many, many things. He gave me a lot of spiritual books to read, and always guidance from the highest point of wisdom. During in this time that I meet Ernie, an old friend of mine, my high school friend, who also was living in San Diego, and we both were in the insurance industry, working together, one day comes and tells me, do you want to see a psychic? And at this point, the word psychic didn't really exist. I mean, it wasn't really out there. It wasn't bastardized by the way it is now, because right now everybody's a psychic. And I was so thirsty for information. I was so thirsty to meet whomever, whatever that teaches spirituality. And this is 1989, 88, 89. There was no internet. If you wanted information, you would go to a spiritual bookstore. And at the spiritual bookstore, there was always a bulletin board. There was like, ads of this teacher, or someone's coming, or a workshop. The information wasn't there. You had to really be dialed in to find the teachers. So it was limited, very limited in comparison. So it wasn't like today that you're going to go online and type a few words, and all of a sudden in YouTube, there's 1,000 different spiritual teachers that available from whatever, from Akasha records to other planets to Aboriginals from Australia or New Zealand teaching, to Advaita Vedanta, to Anthony Robbins, to Eckhart Tolle, and there's a million different things. Anything you want is there right now. It's in the top of your fingers. That did not exist. So my friend says, you want to see this psychic? I was so thirsty. I said, yes, I want to. So he calls and makes an appointment, and we go to this lady's house. Her name is Adele Tennings, and it's in my back of my book. I've written on my lightning notes of Zarathustra, and this is in my website, so that I meet Adele Tennings. We get to her house, we knock on the door. As we get to her house, my heartbeat starts to change. And all of a sudden, I look like I had a glass of wine. So all of a sudden, I just get super mellow, very, very relaxed and mellow. And this lady comes to open up the door. She's got white hair and blue eyes, and light is pouring out of her eyes. And there's this huge aura of light around her. And her and I look into each other's eyes. I'm 28, 29 years old. She's 82 years old or 80 years old. We look at each other and we both went like, you? We both went like that. You? And boom. That was the first time that was like instant love affair. Instantly, I was in love with her and she was in love with me instantly, right in that moment. But not romantic love. There was just big love between the two of us and a big recognition that we recognize each other immediately in that moment. Adele Tennings was or is an avatar, is a real avatar. Avatar in Sanskrit is a spiritual awakened master who, by the permission of Her Majesty Lord God, is allowed to demonstrate spiritual power. There are a lot of awakened, enlightened masters, but they don't practice spiritual power. But Adele was permitted and was given powers like the Christ. So, and she, I would say, the most powerful healer that I've ever encountered in my life. I have met other healers that they do incredible stuff, but for me, it's her, number one. Number two, number three, number four are empty, and then maybe number five, but nothing between 1 to 5 or 6. This is the one, without any doubts. It's like, this is it. So after you're encountering something like that, anything else after that is like, whatever. Oh, it's nice, but so what? Because I met the embodiment of Christ. Now, I never had any connections with Jesus because I grew up in a Muslim country. And even though I didn't practice anything related to my given religion, but I didn't feel any connection with Jesus, but I saw Jesus in her. So incredible compassion, incredible love. And it's interesting because color of green and orange red, as you can see, are my colors. Green then was my like number one color. And Adele used the pen green to write things. Everything she wrote, and her book is all written with a with green pen. So we had this in common. And she was a kind of healer that she was very low key. Actors, actresses from Hollywood would come to San Diego, like Shirley MacLaine or Dennis Weaver. There was a movie McLeod. Big time people would come to her for a healing, and she healed thousands of people from deadly cancers, tumors, serious issues. They would get healed at her presence. So one time, and I have a lot of tales to tell you about my encounter with her, but I'm only going to tell one thing because I want to explain some other people to you. So one time she said to me, Zarathustra, come to the Scottish temple on this date, and I want to show you something, the healing. And she had in her house, in her kitchen, an oak wood table, which probably weighed about 150 kilo, heavy table, square table. And I had a hard time lifting it up. It was very heavy. It was like 150 kilo table. And she has me sit at the table with her. She sits opposite of me and she puts her hands on the table and she says a little prayer and she goes into trance. And 5 minutes, 10 minutes afterwards, the table starts to get lifted in the air, starts to float in the air. 150 kilo table is lifting in the air. And I feel like this very powerful energy start to enter into my hands. And it was like honey, like a thick honey type feeling of honey, but it was love and entered into my body. And I got like completely like drunk, divine drunkenness. And I'm just like in complete state of ecstasy, of completely feeling the love of God and the presence of Christ. And I'm just like gone. It was like, oh my God. And they come and help me and they take me to a couch and I sit down. And about an hour after, when I come back and later on I meet her, she looks into my eyes and she says, this is God, honey. This is God. Adele died 6 months after I met her. So if it was today, I would be just holding her leg. I would not play games like, oh, I'm gonna see you 6 months or next time or maybe, I would be sticking to her 24 hours, vacuuming her house, washing her dishes. I just want to be around her 24/7. I didn't realize what I had. And she gave me carte blanche that I can go to her anytime I want. This is like a heavyweight. This is like Dalai Lama. You just don't go to her house. But she gave me carte blanche specifically to me. Anytime I want, I'm allowed to call and I'm allowed to go to her place. And at that point, I wasn't mature enough. I didn't, and it wasn't meant to be. It was enough that I got what I got, obviously. But if it was today, I would not miss a moment of not being around this this greatness. I would just soak whatever I could from her, because this is something like maybe every 2,000 years, every 1,000 year, a being like that is incarnated in human body. This is not something that you find every day, you know? They're very, very, very rare. And it's very, very, very rare to even encounter them and come across them. So that's my initiation to the healer. Few months after that, a friend of ours messaged me that there is a psychic surgeon, Filipino psychic surgeon in town, that she is seeing clients, but everything is very hush hush and secretly, because she doesn't want to get arrested for practicing medicine without license. And this one, her name is Michaela. Michaela, she's an American woman. She goes to Philippines for vacation for 2 weeks. And the Filipino psychic surgeons, healers, they recognize her and they catch her. And they keep her in Philippines for 3 years. And they train her and teach her. If anybody knows anything about Filipino psychic surgeons, is that they start, let's say there's a problem here, they put their fingers there, they do, and they do it through Christ. They always have a Bible. And they just play a little bit with you, and suddenly the skin opens and their fingers go inside your body as if they cut your body. The fingers go in. I've seen Filipino psychic surgeon putting his hand this far inside someone's stomach and pulling out a tumor. Don't ask me how it works. Okay. I wanted to learn that, but it never happened. Now I don't have the desire for it anymore. But I had three. Michaela, I go see Michaela. Michaela does surgery on my eyes, and she goes inside, and then she goes inside my pituitary gland. When her fingers went in there, of course, I can't see it, but my friend is watching because blood is pouring down. And she went in there and she made an adjustment and she pulled something out that was blocking inside my skull. She went in, this opened as if somebody surgically has opened it, and her fingers went in my brain and she pulled something out. And then it helped opening up my third eye. So that's another encounter I had with Michaela. She's gone now. She's not in her body anymore. Then the next encounter, of course, is with Bhagwan Osho, but this one I want to keep it private. So I don't feel like talking about it at this point. So in 1992, I go to Tehran, Iran. I'm broke and I only have $50. And I want to go to India because I heard about Papaji, Punjaji, my Sat Guru. And I don't have any money. My sister buys me a one-way ticket to Tehran from San Diego, and hoping that they can incorporate me into getting married to a nice upper class Iranian girl and live the dream of babies and happily thereafter story that everybody else does. And my grandmother offers buying me a condo. My uncle offers me buying me a BMW. My other aunt is offering furnishing the apartment. Everyone's throwing me goodies, but I'm like, I'm not happy. I need to get to India and I need to find an awakened being because that's what my soul wants. And I gotta get to India. So, through the grace of God, in 7 months, I ended up putting $3,000 together and a one-way ticket to Delhi. And the master is in Lucknow. So anyway, then I started experience. So I get in a plane. I've never traveled like that in my life before. I was very naive in that area, very inexperienced, very naive. And everyone's telling me, why the hell you're going to India? It's very dirty. People are starving. Someone's going to kill you because they need money. My mom's crying every day. There's big drama. Everyone's crying for me. Don't go. And I'm like, no, I have to go to India no matter what. I don't care. And I need to, oh, well, let us send someone with you. No, this is my journey. I have to go on my own. Something in my heart is telling me you have to come. So I go to India, I go to Lucknow, but from the moment I get in an airplane to every day I experience a miracle. Every single day a miracle happens. And the first 30 days, 30 days from when I put step into airplane, for 30 days every day a miracle happened. Every single day I experienced a miracle happened. Like anything I needed and I thought about it would manifest within 5 minutes to 1 hour. It would just come to me. Anything I needed. I needed. I am cold because it's northern India. This is in November. It's cold. I didn't know it's so cold. I'm shivering, sitting in a coffee shop. I said, God, I wish I had a sweater. All of a sudden, a guy is walking, stops, looks at me, takes his sweater out, and comes and gives it to me. And said, take it. And before I say anything, he leaves. And I'm like, huh? What happened? I'm stuck. There's no cell phone or anything. So I'm stuck somewhere, let's say somewhere, and I have to take my suitcases from one place to another place because I found this beautiful French man who wanted a roommate. And then I'm in another part of town and I don't know, I just like, I don't know, how am I going to do that? I mean, I have to go find someone, explain to them, oh my God, I wish there was a taxi here. And then boom, boom, someone's knocking on my hotel's door. Tack, 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 tack. Open. Sir, you ordered the taxi. It's waiting for you outside. I'm like, what? Uh, I didn't order a taxi. Oh, yes, I ordered the taxi. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, let me take your bags over there. Your taxi is going to take you to. How the hell does this happen? Who's organizing these things? What? Every day I had a miracle happen. Every day I cry because I'm looking at these Indian women wearing saris and their eyes and their children. I'm hearing the smell of incense. I'm hearing the music, sitar and oud, and my heart opens and I'm crying and crying and crying because I knew I'm home at that moment for the first time in my life. Because prior to going to India, I was always like, I'm a stranger in a strange land. I don't belong to France. I don't belong to Iran. I don't belong to America. I'm not French. I'm not Iranian. I'm not American. Who am I? And what am I doing on this planet? Why are these people so weird? And why I don't connect to with anybody? It doesn't matter how much I drink. It doesn't matter how much I do drugs. It doesn't matter how much sex I have. I'm not from here. This planet is weird. What am I doing? I don't want to be here. And then the moment I arrived in India, I get off of the airplane and I set foot on the ground. All of a sudden, I experienced like 20 kilos of weight was off of me. I didn't know there was weight, but all of a sudden, there's this weight which is not there anymore. And I knew my way around in New Delhi. I knew where everything was in New Delhi. I spent one day there. I knew where everything was. I knew where everything was in this city. I'd never been there. I knew where to go. I knew where to turn. I knew where the shops are. I knew where da 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 da. I just knew everything. This was really bizarre, you know? So anyway, I get to the feet of the master, Punjaji, Papaji. And of course, I have all these questions. And of course, I heard all these stories that when you're at the feet of the master, you dissolve into nothingness or whatever, and you're gonna feeling this bliss. Stories I'd heard, and I'm expecting that. So I go sit in front of the master. I'm full. My cup is full. So I didn't know you have to empty your cup if you want more in there. Full of expectations, but nothing's happening. There's like nothing. I leave the satsang house. I'm walking around. I'm confused, like, what the hell? I came all the way here. This is not the guy. And what am I going to do? Um, it was a long journey to find. I need to go around India to find the master, blah, blah, blah. So I go back the next day because we had satsang 5 days a week from 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning till 12. If Papaji wasn't sick, because he was old, he was diabetic. He was like 80 years old. And I mean, it's not old, but he wasn't very healthy. So I go sit in front of him. The next day, the first 3 days, they would allow you to go sit right in front of the master. There was like 150 people in a room every day, all seekers, all there to, and he's sitting there and started crying. My heart opened, and for 3 hours, I cried and cried and cried, and there was like a pile of napkins this big in front of me, like a little hill of napkins. So I decided to stay. His message was very simple because before I was thinking, I'm a lazy spiritual student. There must be a lazy way man to enlightenment. And I don't like going to Osho's ashram in Pune. You have to go to Kundalini meditation at 6 in the morning, and then you have to go to dynamic at 4 o'clock, and da 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 da. And I was like, oh my God, I don't want to get up at 5 in the morning to go to meditation, but if I have to do it, I do it. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, I found, maybe this is my guru. I'm willing to give up meat. I'll give up alcohol. I won't do drugs, but I can't give up sex. I hope he's not going to ask me that, because that's the one I can't give up. So we're sitting in front of him, and he says, there is nowhere to go and nothing to do. What? Nowhere to go and nothing to do? Yeah, there's nowhere to go and nothing to do. You are already who you're looking for. You're already God. You don't see it because you're looking outside. You need to look inside. Then somebody says, Papaji, do we need to be vegetarian? He said, no. Papaji, can I still smoke cigarettes? He says, yes. Papaji, can I still, when I go back to Germany or to Holland, can I still drink my beer or wine? He says, yes. Papaji, can we have sex? He says, yes. I go, this is my guru. This is my dude. There is no rules here. You can do whatever you want. He says, yeah, you can do whatever you want. And the way is be quiet, be silent, keep quiet. Again, keep quiet, keep quiet every day. Be quiet. Look inside. You are who you're looking for. Look inside. Go question the I. Who is this I? Go find out where is this person who says, I am this, I am that. Look for that. And then the love affair started between me and Papaji, because it's always a love affair between the master and the disciple. Not sexual or physical, but you fall in love with your master and your master falls in love with you. And that love affair and that love of the guru will illuminate the person. It illuminates you, this I, this me, this I who thinks it's separated. The love of the guru will burn it and it will destroy that. Then there is no more you as a separated one. It looks like there's a you, but it's existence. The person is no longer there. It disappears. And then that's where the quality of your life completely changed, because that's when you realize this is life, not the one I was living in before. The one I was living in before was fear and anxiety and separation and jealousy. This is the real deal. Now I'm really living life. And you don't know it until the I, the me, the I thought disappears. I'm going to say one quick thing, because then we can do a part 2 next week, and then I can tell you more, because this is like a book of these encounters that I've had with these people. And I can't tell all of them right now in a 1 hour, an hour, 15-minute academy session. We can go longer today. We can go to an hour, 15 minutes. I experienced, answering you, Eva, experienced for the first time silent mind sitting in front of Papaji. I'm sitting in front of him. He's asking me a question. My mind gets activated. He says, when you see a pig, what are you? Are you the pig or you? And everyone's laughing. Everybody's laughing. And my mind started to go like 100, 200 kilometers per second. Running. Like if you ask me my name, I couldn't tell you my name because my mind started to just like going like images passing in front of it. Like unbelievable. And I'm like a dummy, like dumb, like, he says, when you see a pig, are you the pig? I'm like, huh? Like an idiot. I can't talk. And then my mind went into absolute silence, pure silence, no thoughts, nothing. If I wanted to think, I could think. Like I had 100% control of whether I want to think or not. And it was absolute silence. It's like you're in the middle of the desert, Sahara Desert, and there's no one there, and there's no sound, nothing. And you're there, no fear, no anxiety, no nothing. You're just simply present, present. And we're just sitting in front of each other. I'm with him, and I'm just like, wow, we're like this blissful thing. It's so big. Like I'm like, oh, in La La Land, just like drunk, divine drunkenness. And then, after 5, 10 minutes, that is just, it's like Mount Mount Everest. It's like you're sitting in front of Mount Everest. You're not sitting in front of a person. This is like the statue of Buddha they have in Afghanistan, the one built in the wall in the mountain. Have you seen that one? Because Afghanis, there was the Buddhism was there 2,000 years ago, 3,000 years ago. There's a huge statue of Buddha built into the mountain in Afghanistan. Google it later. And I'm sitting in front of this mountain, Papaji. I'm sitting in front of a mountain. It's like when I look up, he's so big, he's so tall that I can even see the end of it. I can't even see his head. It's so huge, so big. Like nothing can move this guy. You can even put a nuclear bomb and he does not move. It's just like Mount Everest is you're sitting in front of this gigantic being, embodiment of pure silence and love. And he's staring at me. And he says, Zarathustra, this is who you are. Don't ever forget that. This other thing is just an imagination. This is who you are. Are there any more masters in this level in this planet today? Probably here and there, but they're not on YouTube, and they're not on Instagram, and they're not advertising themselves. Maybe if you're lucky, you come across one. Some of them's mission is to share and transmission of this powerful silence to others. Papaji didn't want to become a master, a spiritual teacher. He always ran away from it. He was a mine engineer during the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, but fully realized. So whatever city he went to work, eventually people would gather around him and they wanted to sit with him and they wanted to build an ashram for him. So as soon as the group started to get to 20, 30 people, he would quietly in the middle of the night leave the city, get in a train and leave. He didn't want followers. He didn't want to teach. A lot of awakened beings, the real ones, I'm not talking about the advertisement, the commercial ones that you find on the internet. I'm not talking about them. They're doing their job. I'm not putting them down. But they're not awakened. The real ones are very rare to find. Most of them don't want to teach. They hide. Few, by the grace of God, bring him on the path to teach. And this one, I was just like, it was in my destiny to come across this one. So one morning, we used to go to a place, we called it Satsang House, because Satsang means the association of the monks on the path. Satsang means the association of the lovers of the truth. So we went to Satsang. We went to sit with the master, and the master would give us wisdom and transmission. So we went to satsang, like I went to the class, I went to yoga, we went to satsang. And then there was a house that someone was donating and paying for it, that Papaji would come and give satsang. We called it Satsang House. So satsang would start at 8:30 in the morning, and we would go there around 7:30, waiting in line, or waiting, or going sitting inside, waiting for Papaji to come. Most of the time, I would be outside because I didn't want to miss anything. I wanted him when the driver drives and stops and he comes outside, I wanted to see him. I didn't want to miss any moments because I missed on Adele and I missed on Osho, and I didn't want to miss on this guy. I didn't want to miss any moment not seeing him. I wanted to be around him and see him every single moment possible because I knew I still wasn't mature, but I knew that this is the dude. This is the guy. This, you're not going to find something like this, the rest of your life. This happens once in a lifetime. You better go for it. So and it's cold. This is winter time in Lucknow, and it's like freezing, or 2 degrees, 3 degrees centigrade. So we're cold. We have a lot of clothes. I'm cold, standing there. The car pulls over. Papaji gets out of the car, and he's going, nice and namaste, namaste, to everyone. And he looks at me, and boom, 2 lasers, 2 laser beams hit me in my eyes. He looks at me, acting like nothing's happening. And I'm like, going like this. And he just goes and says hello to everybody. And then again, as he's coming back again, pew, 2 laser beams again hit me. And I'm like, like that. And then it just goes like that. There is more, but we don't have time to get into it. Whatever that was, it's like That's, let me just turn on a little bit, a nudge, like bring the degree to very little of the Shaktipat he gave me. It's just like, that's Shaktipat. That's like sending transmission to somebody to change them in subatomic way. Their molecules and their DNA changes because of that transmission you give to your disciple who's their heart open, and they're there with a lot of love, and they're there, none of this bullshit today that we have, none of this bullshit with students or followers or participants, like this sense of entitlement, like, oh, you didn't da, 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 da. Or like as if you owe them something. None of this bullshit. I mean, what's happening these days is totally bullshit. I don't see very much devotion anymore like that. That was devotion. What? I'm 32 years old. I left my career. I left my work. I go to India on my own money. I don't have any savings or anything. Spend like years being with the master. So master gives me a little bit of transmission. Then going to another master and going to Brazil and living at John of God's compound. So I get a little bit of healing thing. While throughout these years of my best years, from age 30 to 50, when my peers, they created companies, they bought 5 homes, land, they are married, they created family, and they're all very wealthy financially, most of them. They don't have to think about money. So their time and youth investment went into accumulating wealth. So they all became wealthy, and now they're comfortable financially. I'm not saying they're happy, but they're financially set. I put my best years, I invested those years with my own money into sitting with the masters and teachers to get a little bit of spiritual wisdom. That's where my investment were. And it wasn't like feeling entitled that, oh, I came all the way to Lucknow, India by plane, by bus, by boat, by walking, going to mass to satsang house from 7:30 in the morning, like freezing, waiting every day, waiting for the master. Some days he was sick, he wouldn't come. Some days he would come, waiting there so we can be with her for 2 hours. Or going to Brazil, waiting for John of God to come and do psychic surgery. You spend your own money. You went all the way there. You don't have an income. You couldn't make money at that time. Internet wasn't happening the way it is today. So you invest your time. You can have an attitude. You're humble. You get humbled in comparison to today. It's like dealing with a bunch of spoiled brats that they have expectations, like you didn't fulfill at the workshop you didn't look at me or you didn't touch me. So fucking what? You didn't? What the hell are you talking about? Oh, but Zarathustra, you put your hand on everyone. You didn't put it on me. Crying like a 60-year-old woman crying and wanting to leave like an 8-year-old kid. Are you kidding me? Are you joking? You have no idea. You already got your transmission, whether I put my hand on you or not. So it's a very different mentality. It's a different world now. It's completely different. But anyway, that was then, and this is now. We have a message here. Zarathustra, what an amazing life. I can't wait to read your book. A question for you. What do we do about sex? I understand that separation is an illusion and we don't need anyone or anything outside ourselves. But this 3D body longs for physical touch and embrace and union with other bodies. How do we manage this? You just have sex, my dear. Because, you need skin. It has nothing to do with your spirituality. Spirituality, any spiritual doctrine is telling you you shouldn't be having sex, they're full of shit because your DNA is designed for you. This was a message one of our students wrote. So if you want, you can read it. So I'm responding to that. She's asking, did you hear what I said? Did you hear? Do you know what I'm talking about? Yes? No? Yeah. So I'm going to read the question. Zarathustra, what an amazing life. I can't wait to read your book. A question for you. What do we do about sex? I understand that separation is an illusion and we don't need anyone or anything outside ourselves. But this 3D body longs for physical touch and embrace and union with another body. How do we manage this part of the human experience? If you like to have sex, you just have sex. Human body has its needs. You need food, you eat food. If you're feeling like the food you're eating is heavy and your body needs to go to alkaline hmm, juices, you eat salads for a week or two, and then your inflammation goes down. If you live somewhere very cold, you need to eat meat and fish, chicken with pasta so you get warm. And if you need, we're in a human body. I love touch. I need skin. I like having sex. There's nothing wrong with it. I need to be hugged. I also love it, like everyone on the planet, every once in a while, I need someone to tell me, thank you. I appreciate what you did. That has nothing to do with being awakened or not being awakened because you're still a human body here. And a human body has nervous system and they have human body as emotions and everybody needs to be appreciated or criticized or be agreed or disagreed. And we all need love and touch. Aloneness, we learn to embrace being alone. And when you're alone, you find yourself, you find that you are with God, with Her Majesty the Supreme. And you slowly start to embrace the moments you're alone. Loneliness is a different story. Loneliness is a product of the mind. I'm so lonely. Nobody loves me. That's a melodrama story that the mind plays. It's different than aloneness. Aloneness is rich. Loneliness is empty and poor. But you're also still allowed to feel lonely. Don't disallow yourself not to feel lonely. It's like I come and say, I'm not allowed to feel sad ever in my life. What do you mean? I'm not allowed to be horny in my life. Well, there are moments I get horny. It's an emotion comes. Do I act on it or I just feel it? But I don't tell myself I shouldn't feel horny. That's my hormones. They pop in, especially in spring, and get you going. That's nature. Do I get sad? Yes. I watch a movie. I was watching the other day. There were sad moments, and I started to cry. I get some sad news. I feel sad. There's nothing wrong with feeling sad. Am I sadness? No. But I'm allowed to be sad. Am I anger? No. But I'm allowed to get angry. Again, another question. Does there need to be spiritual connection first before the physical exchange of energy? No. You can have sex with people and not have any spiritual connection with them. It's called one night stand. And one night stand, sometimes it happens and it's very yummy and very exciting. So what? Don't make any big deals of any of it. If it happens, happens, enjoy it. Yeah, if it becomes an addiction, then it's a different story. If you're manipulating things to just have one night stands, then you're an asshole. But if it happens, it happens. Move on with your life. Don't mind fuck over it. If something happened, it happens. You did it, you go. If you're in a committed relationship with someone and you have constantly promising each other you're not going to have sex with anyone else, I don't want to get into that. That's maybe a different story. Maybe one night you have sex with someone when you're on the road. I don't know. Shit happens in life, but don't mind fuck over it. Okay. How about the theory that you absorb a person's energy when you have sex with them? Is there? You absorb people's energy whether you have sex with them or not. You sit in a room with 10 other people, you already, in the first half an hour, you already been inside them and they've been inside you and out. Did you know that? Do you know that you've been inside? You go inside other people and they go inside you because you're sitting in a room with them and you're all breathing the same air. So I breathe in and I breathe out. And then you breathe in and you breathe out. So if I breathe in something and I breathe it out, there is going to be molecules in subatomic way of me coming out of my breath and you're going and it's going to go inside you. So we're penetrating one another automatically, whether we like it or we don't. That's why we're one. There is no separation. We're not separated from anything on this planet or universe. Everything is a part of your own self, and you are a part of all.
Zarathustra, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. I got
Yeah, your voice was away.
you. Thank you. Thank you, honey. Okay. Yeah, you guys are muted, but if you unmute yourself, you can ask questions. But let me finish this. Stay here at your home. This is the only place that you're safe. You leave this place and go anywhere else, you get yourself into trouble. Can you hear me? Yeah. If you leave this place, you go in the world of Maya, illusion. And then you start spinning down the spiral into hell and suffering because it's very confusing. And you get swallowed by Maya. It'll eat you and chew you and spit you out. Stay here. This is your home. Here, right now, in the heart. And avoid the stories your mind is playing for you. The world's going to come to the end. What's going to happen next? Blah, 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 blah. Economy, the war. None of them is your business, and none of them can touch you when you're here. You're quiet and you're in your heart. And here you realize all is well and you're taken care of. Her Majesty, Lord God, takes care of you. You are not your own responsibility. You weren't here 100 years ago. We were. We brought you here, and we're going to take you home. You're not your own responsibility. So don't start spinning like you need to fix things and you have to take care of things. You're taken care of. Stay in this place of recognizing that God is in you and God loves you. And that's why you're here. And God will carry you home. Stay in this faith and get it stronger in trusting that all is well and all is taken care of. And don't get lost in here. Just stay here. And then you feel it. You feel the presence because she's here. But she's here. She's not there. She's here. And you're in it. And it surrounds you. It dances around you. It plays with you. It touches you. It kisses you. It's your breath. You're taken care of 100%. There's a magic going on, and miracles keep happening in your life. Even if you're going through a hard time, you get scared, just come back here. Come back to your teachings. Go back to your teacher. Go back to what is the foundation. And everything else that's not real is going to disappear. I want to congratulate our sister Monica. She's starting her own new business. Her and her friends are opening a center on March 4th or 5th. Monica, would you like to just briefly let us know about your coming center? Where is it going to be? What country? What city? And how do people can find you?
We're situated in Skellefteå in Sweden, up in the northern part of Sweden. And you can find everything there is on my website, emsmassage.se.
Wait, can you repeat that one more time?
emsmassage.se.
Okay.
You're all welcome to join, to come visit us.
So your 5 therapists coming together and having your association together, and does everyone offer massage and healing, or they do different things?
We do different things from healing, massage, different massage techniques to spiritual guidance to, yeah, a lot of things.
Right. Also, if somebody wants to learn, can they come to you and you teach them? Like you have a training program for the beginners?
Yes. Yes, there are.
Okay. So if you do me a favor, after we finish here, if you text me your website, and I'm gonna put it down on Instagram and Facebook that you're opening on March 5th. And this is the website if any of our viewers are in the area and they want to come and get a taste of your magic.
Yes, I will do that. Thank you.
You're welcome. My pleasure. There's been a few changes. I'm going to make some, I'm waiting for confirmation. I think from what I hear, I think my date of arrival to Poland has changed. I know I got a message from Woodek, and I was teaching, so I can't go on the screen and check it right now in this moment. Maybe I can. So let me see. Let's see what's happening, and I'll tell you where we're at. Great. So, right. Okay, so what's happening is a change. Going to Poland around 7 or 8 of March, and we had some issues. So the 2 cities where we're going to go to apparently are canceled. So everything's going to be compact in Warsaw. So on our shamanic healing event, which was on the 5th of March, we moved it to 11th of March. And third eye activation, we moved it from the 6th to 12th of March. So I apologize for the inconvenience, but this is what's happening. And then on the 14th, 15th, 16th, I have my 3-day seminar workshop, which is from 10 to 6 in the afternoon every day except Sunday. So everything else with Warsaw remains the same. We just move this, and I kind of like to come earlier. So this is what's happening. Our event in Hamar, Norway stands still, and I hope some of you come and visit us there. I welcome you with open heart. I will be in Hamar, Norway as of March 18th to 25th. The Oslo plans, there's a slight change to that. I think I'll be in Oslo for only 2 or 3 nights. That's it. And then I'm going to fly back to my mom. I miss her. She's turning 98 on April 2nd. So I can't wait to go back and see my mother and celebrate her 98th birthday. I mean, that's a milestone. So, Monica, send this while I finish here. I lose everything. So send it as a text message to me, please, on
Okay.
WhatsApp. Yeah. So because I don't know how to go back and find that, and so but send it ASAP. So as soon as we're done, we're going to post it on everywhere. What else? Lightning Notes of Zarathustra is translated to, hold on, let me grab it. Lightning Notes of Zarathustra, my first and only book, volume 1, is translated to Polish language. And now, thank you to Jurek, my sponsor, brother, and it's in print. So most probably it'll be ready by the time I come to Poland, inshallah, God willing. Lightning Notes of Zarathustra in German has been translated by Andreas and Susanna. And that one hopefully is going to be ready. We're working on that, and we're going to take care of some bugs and make some changes because the book was printed in 2012. And now I revisit the book and I see a lot of things need to be updated. So that one is going to come out. And I'm committed to put out my second book, The Lightning Notes of Zarathustra, Volume 2. Now I'm going to put it out, and also my meditation album, You Are Who You're Looking For. I'm gonna put it on Spotify and everything. They're gonna come. I'm very slow. Be patient with me, but I'm coming. Our retreat, which is about awareness and awakening and helping you to go beyond your ego, going beyond this I, coming to the full illumination and entering into fifth dimensional consciousness, is in Poland. It's in an area called Nowe Kawkowa, and that's going to be August 10th to 17th. And that one, we're going to put it up on the website in next 10 days. That's my commitment. I'm going to finish it and put it out. My website is zarathustra.tv. And my social media is Zarathustra 5D. And feel free to reach out and connect with us. I love myself.
I love myself.
I love myself.
Thank you very much, Zarathustra. It was really nice to hear all these stories, and I must say that I could listen to you for hours when you talk like that about your experience. Thank you so much. I am really moved. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you for asking, bringing the topic. So I appreciate that. A lot of the stuff yeah, I don't talk about it very much. So you brought it out of me. And
yeah.
yeah, I appreciate you all. You're my family, you're my love, and I can't wait till I see you.
The same.
Yeah.
Thank you.
My love. Nice seeing you all. Be well. Stay in your heart. Don't go in the world of the mind. Don't get yourself into trouble.